Good morning. Thank you for joining me. Another day closer to Christmas, and another day almost halfway through our 12 days of Christmas. And today, as promised, I'm going to be using the paper pad that we started to use yesterday. And I just think for these cute little crackers, this is just about right. So another sort of decoration that we could have on the Christmas table. But really, really simple. Hardly any die cutting. Die cutting is this part of it, but the actual cracker, probably big enough to pop, I would say, a couple of Ferrero Rocher type things in there, that type of thing. So a little sweet treat really for the Christmas table, but it could be your place name or something like that on the Christmas table as well. So a nice little decoration and very simple to do. So let me, without further ado, show you. So I have got my lovely selection of papers. Now yesterday when I was talking to you about these papers, I was telling you how many there was in there, and I did not realise, to be honest with you, that because I've used so many of them, that there's actually 50 different sheets of paper, which is a real bargain. They're all 6x6, and as I said before, we've got the 5 colours: purple, blue, red, green and white, and then you've got a selection of those with the gold spots and a selection with the silver. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to choose a red one today. So I'm going to take one of those, and you will need your scoreboard. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to turn it over, so on the wrong side. I'm then going to score at 3.5 centimetres, 7, 10.5 and 14. So every 3.5 centimetres. I'm going to turn that round, and then I'm going to score again at 3.5 centimetres. I'm going to turn that round and 3.5 centimetres. So 3.5 centimetres is your golden rule on that one. I'm going to score and fold all of these lines a bit so that we know where we're going with them. And excuse me, just making them nice and crisp makes it easier to go along. And then these little lines, of course, this way and that way as well. Okay, there you have your basic shape. Oh, excuse me. I'm then going to pop some tape onto this thin section here. So this is the little tiny tab bit. Now the reason why I'm going to pop it onto there first is because I am going to cut some shapes into this in a second, and I found that putting the tape on after you've done the cutting just made it more fiddly, so I don't do fiddly. So let's pop this straight onto that piece there. So I've got some double-sided power tape, but you could use any, I would suggest strong sticking tape. I'm going to take the cover off of that, and then I'm simply going to turn my piece of paper over and fold that down. So that's all my sticky side here. And then I'm just going to fold that together so that we've got that sort of a shape. So a little bit like we were doing with pillar cards actually, but a bit bigger. I'm then going to fold that in half and turn it round, and then I'm going to fold on that line down. Now this is a bit stiff because there's quite a few layers here, so just persevere, there's quite a few layers. I'm going to then take a pair of my big scissors, because this is big business, and I'm just going to cut from about a third of the way down on here. Third of the way down to about a third up there, because I need to make sure that I've got a point there. So just going to take that corner off there. Then I'm going to turn it round and I'm going to do exactly the same, and I'm going to make sure that I've got a bit of a point going on at the top. When you open it up, you can see that that's beginning to look more cracker-like. Turn it round, and I'm going to do exactly the same. So it's fold it over, and then about a third of the way up to a third of the way across. Just take that corner off, and the same there, third of the way, and just take that corner off as well. So you've now got very much, oh, it does look like a cracker now. You didn't think it did you, to start off with? And believe me, it does. So if we open up our little pot there, we now simply need to get ourselves a piece of ribbon. Pop that around one of the bases there. Ooh. And just gently pull and make ourselves a little bow. And then we just ease out the ends of our cracker. Just going to pop that, whoops, pops that down so that pops our cracker out there as well on all sides. And then simply do the same at the bottom with another piece of ribbon. So these are very, very simple to do. We've not got to cut any, we haven't got a lot of measurements. We've not got to cut any of our bits and pieces off of our piece of paper. It's just a basic 6x6 paper, or 15, well it's 15.2 actually, so it is slightly different. So there we have our beautiful little cracker. Just pop my finger in to bring that all up. And then we got our little cracker. So now we just need our little embellishment. So for our embellishment, I'm using Funky Tags and Festive Flags. Okay, that almost rhymes, doesn't it? So these have been out quite a while, so you may well have these and these. Nothing new here today. They are just fun things to use and just quite cleverly all done, because they all mix and match, and they work perfectly with a lot of these little sayings. So I've already done this part to start off with. I've taken the Have a Merry Christmas and I've used my embossing no I haven't. I've used my anti-static bag and I have used my gold embossing powder, and I've just done a couple of the Have a Merry Little Christmas. So as I said, quite a few of these work in there in different ways, but I have chosen this little lovely, which comes in set of two. So you've got, well, it's a bit deceptive actually, because you've got an outer, which I would call this one, but you've got this one which actually gives you a very tiny little well, border type of thing. I don't know what you'd call it. Frame, really. Frame. But I'm just going to be using the middle part and not the little frame, because I want to use this part of it as well. So I'm just going to pop that over the top of my work and then tape that into place, just making sure, in this case, I want the wording slightly over, because I just want to pop my little flower on this corner. So I'm just going to make sure that it's over towards the right hand side, so that I have got room to put my little flower over. I mean, obviously you could centre it, but in this case, as I said, I want my little flower to be on there. So I'm just going to run that through the machine, and you'll then see what I mean about it giving a little frame as well. So just do this. And when we take that out, you've got that little frame, but you've also got, oh, left it on the, this little tiny, oh, this little frame there. So I don't need that little frame, but you could always do a sort of mix and match with this. So I've already cut out the next size up for this, and you can see what I mean about the fact that that goes over the top. You see that? So I could even have cut out this in white, so for the slightly bigger sentiments, maybe for the Merry Christmas or the New Year, I could have cut that out in white, stamped on white, cut that out with a bigger one, and then cut out this smaller one in gold, and then just put the gold frame over the top, just like that. So there's lots of ways of mixing and matching with that, but I'm not going to need that little frame. I'm just going to need this bit here. So that goes onto there like that. Just going to stick that on top. Just pop a little bit of glue into the centre there, like so. Bring in my cracker and pop a bit of glue onto the back here. And as I said, you could put your guest names and things like that on top of that as well. So that goes onto the centre. And then I've just got myself a couple of the mini poinsettias. Now these are going to be coming up later in the week, so they are now back in stock. They're coming up as a little deal, so watch out for those. I'm just going to pop them into position. So I'm going to do two sizes, one slightly smaller than the other, of course, but you can do them in any way you like. I'm just giving them a bit of a twist. Let's pop that to one side, just do the flowers first. So a little bit of glue in the centre. Offset my petals so that it's just a little bit different. And take myself a little gem to pop into the middle there. Just a little gold gem. Don't have to put anything in there, but I quite like the little gold gem. And then a little bit of glue on the back, on that corner, and then up in that corner there. Just twist that so that we can still read. It says, "Have a Merry Christmas." So, all sorts of colours. I've done the red and the purple, but you have got blues and greens and the white and gold ones as well, and also all the silver. The ribbon is just something that I've got in my stash. In fact, actually now I haven't, because that was the last of it. But you can see that you could make a lovely little array here, and very quick and easy. So, back tomorrow with another selection, completely different tomorrow. So I'm hoping that you're going to like that one. As always, don't forget to leave a comment afterwards if you can, just to say if you're liking, that would be nice. But any comments, always gratefully received. If there's anything that you saw today that you'd like to have a go at, your little paper pads, a few of those left. And then we've got the festive flags and the funky tags, all on the website maximumcrafts.com if you should need such a thing. So thank you so much for joining me today. Have a good day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.